Today's video is going to be talking about the electric vehicles better for the environment or gasoline vehicles. Electric vehicles are becoming popular in the world we live in today. There are been much talk about electric vehicles may be more efficient for the environment. Some things to look at for this argument are the manufacturing process and the cost. To determine if electric vehicles are better for the environment, we need to look at before the vehicles see the road and the process. To start, the manufacturing process for electric vehicles have a bigger carbon footprint than the gasoline vehicles, which some people really don't know about that, but it's a big deal. The first reason for this carbon emissions from the process go past the normal amount to create an electric vehicle. The first problem was why? Why the electric vehicle was making more carbon emissions than a gasoline vehicle? That just doesn't make much sense. Well, the reason is because electric cars have large lithium ion batteries that require a lot of materials and energy to build them. The energy required to build these batteries is a lot. They have large-scale factories to build these batteries, which is why it needs a large amount of energy. To power this large amount of energy, output is a coal power plant, which generates a large sum of energy compared to the other ways. To put it in numbers, the production of a mid-sized electric saloon vehicle generates 47 grams of carbon dioxide or CO2 per mile during the extraction and production process. To try to counter the amount of energy being produced, we can also try to recycle EV batteries to reduce the emissions associated with making an electric vehicle by reducing the needs for the material. This can lower the amount of electric energy needed to run these factories and ultimately lower the amount of carbon emissions that has been set into the air. Additionally, if the recycling idea is put into effect, we can start seeing lower carbon emissions made by electric vehicles, but we will always have carbon emissions from making these vehicles. After the manufacturing phase is completed, here's what the manufacturing phase actually looks like for an electric vehicle. After the manufacturing phase is completed, the electric vehicles are on the road. Those cars make up for the carbon emissions spent during the manufacturing phase. During the driving part of the electric vehicle, it will produce less carbon emissions which will balance out the carbon emissions being put in the air. It says within 18 months of drive time, it will make even. They continue to outperform gasoline vehicles to the end of their life. This problem isn't commonly talked about a lot, since not many people know about it, but it's still a massive impact on the earth. This problem will still happen and will take a long time to be fixed, but for right now, all we can do is find a way to limit the amount of carbon emissions being sent into the air. The burning of fossil fuels will also not go away for a while, since we have not found a better and more efficient way of producing clean air and becoming carbon emission free. If we start implementing these solutions, we could start to see a change in the earth little by little. The second point I'm going to be talking about, and the final point, is the cost of electric vehicles versus the gasoline vehicles. Precisely how much it costs per car in total cost for maintenance. Many news sources ask the question, are gas-powered or electric vehicles better the deal? Electric vehicles have a higher sticker pricing than your average gasoline vehicles. However, electric vehicles can be better in the long run financially due to the fact that repairs and fuel costs can be lower than the gasoline vehicle. The average owner might save more than $6,000 over an EV's lifespan relative to a traditional car. Additionally, when comparing EVs and gasoline vehicles on total cost during ownership, electric vehicles tend to come out ahead of the gasoline vehicles on average. Most electric vehicles do have a higher cost, but Now there are electric vehicles that cost less than 30K before rebates. That's pretty good. By 2025, the Biden administration supports the development of electric vehicles. We expect the total of all electric vehicles to be more affordable for the average American. It will also have electric vehicles and gasoline vehicles to be put on par with them. If a consumer purchases an electric vehicle, they will expect to save thousands of dollars a year on the electric vehicle and over the lifespan of the electric vehicle. Compared to the gasoline vehicle, you can get a cheaper price for the gasoline vehicle, but they still have a problem, worse than electric vehicles, where you save thousands of dollars on the EVs compared to where you spend over tens of thousands of dollars on the gasoline vehicle. Without the electric vehicle has without spark plugs to replace or oil to change. Electric vehicles are better than gasoline vehicles, but they still have their usual maintenance for the vehicle. A study I found in 2018, study by the University of Michigan Transportation Research Institution, found that the average cost to the fuel of an electric car was $485 a year, compared to the gasoline of $1,717. A 2020 Consumer Report study similar showed that EV drivers tend to spend about 60% less each year on fuel costs compared to drivers of gas-powered. There are still a lot of other main points in the controversy over electric vehicles and gasoline vehicles, but these are very important. Here's what the electric vehicles look like, from small, big, medium size, all of them. Gasoline vehicles, but these two are very important when arguing that electric vehicles are better for the environment than gasoline vehicles. Lastly, electric vehicles are a better way of saving on money and saving the planet at the same time.